Very nice.
Okay.
This is beautiful. Beautiful. I really like the scents.
Guys, entrepreneurship is alive and well in South Africa. And one of my biggest passions is to showcase the stories of entrepreneurs who are just like you and me. And today we have.
I'm here with Jacob Manele, the founder, the director, and the creative director of Afrique Parfum.
So Jacob has got an amazing story, guys, of how he came from being a waiter with just 1,000 rand and grew his perfumery to a 650,000 rand. But before we get into his story, I just wanted to put his product to the test. And what better way than to get honest reviews from the market, right? Let's hear what the people had to say.
So this one is called Sweet Saffron. There you go.
Try that. Oh. Yeah, this is definitely something that I would buy for myself. 0 to 10, I would give it a 9. That one is just for longevity because I'm not sure how long it would last. But
Yeah, 9 is
Yeah.
very strong though. 9 is very strong. Yeah. So I'm gonna give you Madagascan vanilla. So this one is a beautiful unisex. Literally anyone can wear this.
I like this one. I really this one, yeah. What are your thoughts? No, bro, this one, you know, pregnant someone with this one. I like this one. No, bro, I really like this one. This I actually would want to wear like on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. So this one is called La Luxa. So it's floral based. It has some lychee at the top. We've paired this with cocoa and a touch of aquatic accords.
I like this one. I like this one. It's nice. Like an ocean perfume. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Very fresh, right?
It is fresh. The nice aquatic notes that are coming through.
Yeah. So this one is Sweet Saffron.
Yeah, this is very Middle East. I like this one. Very, very nice. I like this one. It smells a little bit more premium, more sophisticated. Definitely Middle Eastern, which is the trend now,
Yes,
right?
it's oriental, very
Yeah,
oriental.
very oriental.
Yeah.
Very nice. This one's nice.
Okay. This smells like rich.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it's called Sweet Saffron. So saffron is a type of spice that we source in the Moroccan region. So this one, the spice also is very rare and hard to source because it makes it expensive. So that's why you also think it smells expensive because
I'd give them a 10 out of 10, both of them, but obviously this is my favorite.
so this 20 out of 10.
Oh, yeah, 20.
It breaks the scale.
Yeah.
They say oil paste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ngapa sispray yipi? Spray amani.
Yeah, spray money.
Thingizo ngapa?
They switching and I think it's Habana something.
Okay. This one is the Sweet Saffron. And thingizo ngapa?
Kumbula.
Yeah, ubukosi there. Yeah. Okay. Actually, are you sure it's vanilla? Yakumbula the outside thingy vanilla. Now it's a hand.
Aye. I was saying like see you there.
Axi. Yeah, it's definitely ubukosi. Alright, Tungunzela. So which size do you want?
The smaller one now, the 6 something.
Okay, 650. It's a 50 mil. We're on TikTok buff.
Yeah.
Ngizokuthenga.
Okay, right. This
Alright, let me just
Musa 456.
Musa 456. Ngizokuthenga.
There's something happening.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure. But Musa, siyabonga bafo. Yeah. So Khubana, uphethe WhatsApp angisho. Alright, showcase Musa, siyabonga bafo.
So, guys, the proof is in the pudding, and you heard those reviews. So, for you guys, I had to ask Jacob questions that every entrepreneur wants to know. I wanted to find out what his inspiration was, how he got started in the business, what it takes to break into the South African fragrance market, how he funded his business, and what were some of his greatest challenges or lowest points in the business, and of course, what his vision is. And he even gave us some tips of which type of fragrance to use depending on the occasion. So guys, stick around. And if you like this type of content, hit the like button right now. It helps the channel and this video is going to be good. So guys, let's get into Jacob's story. Funny story, right? So the first time we met, so I go home, right? I just came through here in Dainfen. This is where we are right now.
Yeah.
Dainfen Shopping Center, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, man. So I was here to go to the clicks. So when I got back home, my wife was like, man, where were you, man? Where were you? I'm like, why? It's like, man, what's that smell, man? What's that smell? Man, so what did I, tasted out there?
I remember very well, you were in your sweats and you were just, going about your day. And I stopped you and I said, like, no, man, smell this. So you smelled, it's called Madagascan vanilla. It has notes that we've sourced in the deep city of Madagascar. The type of vanilla strain that we use here is sweet and has a spicy base to it. We've paired this with cinnamon, bit of saffron, and a touch of Egyptian oud. So what makes us stand out really is that we use only indigenous African ingredients. So you get one longevity-wise, it's 10 out of 10 longevity, uniqueness as well, 10 out of 10, and it's also natural. So there are certain properties within this perfume that are good for your skin.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
So the craziest thing again, so the next day, so I'm just at home, my wife was like, dude, did you go to that place again? I'm like, no, I didn't go there. It's like, so like the scent was still on me, like the following day, man. And I was like, man, this is crazy. But the craziest thing is, you know what, my wife, I mean, she's not going to give a compliment if it's not something which is really good. You know what I'm trying to say? So I was impressed. Like, I was like, okay, my wife is giving me a compliment. So it means like, this is really, really good, man. This is really, really good.
All right, so this all started over 5 years ago. So I used to work as a waiter. This is my story. This was straight after uni. I got a job as a waiter just to get skills, some certain skills and income. So I was never into perfumery or cosmetics for that matter. I was serving this gentleman. He smelled really lovely. I asked him, what do you smell like? What do you use? Took out a bottle and it was his very own brand. He told me that he makes his own perfumes. I was literally mind blown. He took me under his wing. He showed me the business, showed me skills, gave me skills, production, up until to marketing. And 4 years later, we have Afrique Parfum. So reason why I started Afrique Parfum is that I saw a gap in the market. With all the experience that I had acquired in this industry, I had saw that there isn't a lot of African-inspired perfumes in the market. But what I've noticed that a lot of the European-inspired perfumery exploits a lot of African ingredients, and then they label it made in France, made in Italy. And with our brand is that we want to spread the narrative of Africa with literally each and every bottle that we have. It has a story of its own because it speaks about the heritage of that certain culture or that certain demographic that we find these ingredients from. So that's what we do. It's more than just a bottle for us when we make these products, but it's also spreading the narrative and the diverse cultures of Africa through each and every whiff of that bottle.
How long has your business been going?
So we've been running for over 2.5 years now.
What does it take to break into the fragrance market in a place like Johannesburg, man? This is a big, big city, man. I mean, you are competing against, the very best. The supply is there. It's not like you're at a place whereby there's no supply. People can get Armani, people can get all these different things. I mean, what does it take to break through in this market?
It's not easy because it's very saturated. But what will make you stand out is your story. What do you have to offer? What is your value proposition? What do you bring to the table that will set you apart from what everyone else is doing? So with our angle and our directive, our prime objective is that we spread the African narrative, which there isn't much houses out there, especially here in Joburg and across the country, that do what we do.
And just from like a business point of view, I know like there is like the business of the business, like the busyness of the business, which is, doing the actual work, the selling and all these things, the production.
and there's also like the back end, the administrative stuff, making sure your cash flows are right and all these things. How do you handle all that, and how have you developed in all that at the end of the day?
So it's important to have systems in place. It literally took me over 2.5 years to set up systems in terms of production, the upkeep of inventory, making sure that we do not sit with stock. And what's important now is sales, marketing. So that's what pushes our brand a lot, because make sure we find exposure, because exposure equals to sales. So I'd say to myself, in a day, if I can talk to 20 people, I know for guaranteed, out of those 20 people, 10 at least will purchase. So exposure, going out there, going out to these places, feeling uncomfortable as well, it helps to push the business.
And in terms of setting up something like this, man, what would you say about funding, right?
Yeah.
Because I think a big thing when you talk to entrepreneurs, would-be entrepreneurs in South Africa, it's all about, we're not getting any funding, there's no access to funding, banks won't fund. But with something like this, what would you say you needed to fund this? Or how did you get the funding? Or is it like a big thing that people make funding such a barrier? Is it just a psychological thing, or what would you say? What are your experiences?
So I'd say you just need to start. I didn't start with much. I only started with $1,000. Literally, those are my tips and my wages that I used to get from that restaurant that I used to work for in Santon. So that's all you need to start. But when it comes to now scaling, when you want funding for scaling, there are a lot of bodies and institutions that give out funding. But with my experience, I got funding through networking. So put yourself out there, go to events, go to networking events, go to those restaurants where you see those people that you want to become. Approach them, talk to them, ask for knowledge, ask for their know-how. How did they make it? Because that's how I literally got my investor. I was at Hyde Park Corner. I approached a gentleman who was in a business meeting. I asked him 3 principles. I asked him, sir, what are your 3 key principles that helped you reach success in your business journey? And he told me 3 simple principles. He said, number 1, his relationship with God. Number 2, being diligent and being a good steward. So being a good steward is managing the little that you have. The Bible says, the one who is faithful with little is also faithful with much. So the minute you are able to manage the little that you have, you'll be able to also manage the greater much, or the greater blessing that will come into your life. It's literally my life story. I was able to manage a business that started off with 1,000 rand. We scaled it up to over 650,000 in a space of a year. So now we are reaching the 6-figure mark in terms of the evaluation of this company. So that goes to show that you can start where you are. You can start with the little that you have to scale it up to what you want it to become. But just manage it well. Manage the little that you have. Don't be complacent and say, no, I want to start the business with 10,000 rand. No, start it with that $500 you have. There's literally suppliers that can give you as little as 1 minimum order quantity. Then you can start off with that 1 bottle of perfume, or you can start off with 2 bottles of perfume. So it's really attainable. It's not far-fetched as you think. It's there, right within you. You just need to go on Google. There's AI now for information. You can literally send a prompt on ChatGPT. You can get all that information, all the supplies you need here in South Africa. Everything is available.
Awesome, awesome. So how does the conversation go from asking for 3 principles to then getting funding?
So I showed him what I do. So I showed him my product, and he liked the product. He actually spent time, he gave me 3 hours of his time. So from that business meeting, he had to end the call, and he sat with me 3 hours, literally teaching me business principles, kingdom principles, because he's also a man of God. And then from there, I gifted him with a bottle of my own product. I gave it to him as a way to honor him. I couldn't give him money for what he had poured into me, because that 3 hours was literally life-changing. And then he liked my product. A few months later, he came back to South Africa. He told me that he wants to help me with my business. And then we got funding of over 250,000, and then it really exponentially grew the business. We literally got new heights. We were able to secure branding. We were able to work on our product development. Also, after a few months getting the funding, we also got a business company car.
Awesome, man. So you had just met this gent through networking?
I met him at Hyde Park Corner.
Just random?
Now he was having breakfast. And then he was on a conference call. I approached him and was like, "Good sir, how are you? I'm Jacob Mangnele. I just want to know 3 principles that had helped you acquire success in your business journey." And instead of getting business principles, I got kingdom principles. Because he said, 1, your relationship with God, being a good steward, and also being able to manage. So that's what he told me. Oh no, he told me the principle of ownership. So the principle of ownership really blew my mind away, because he put it this way. So if you own a car, if you're the owner of the car, the burden of taking care of that car lies on you. So if you receive something from God, who's the owner? God. The burden of taking care of that blessing is in God's hands. So literally, he told me that everything that we have, we do not have ownership over. Because the minute you claim ownership over the things that you have, you're going to have the burden to take care of those things. But if you just manage them, just be a good steward and manage them, God will take care of the burden that comes with taking care of those things. So basically, you rest assured, you have the grace that God takes care of everything in the background. You're just there managing the nitty-gritties, the small details. As I said at first, the little becomes big if you can handle the little.
2.5 years.
Yes.
And what would you say was probably the lowest point for you in this business?
The lowest point was definitely starting out. I used to use taxis. I used to Uber everywhere, and I also used to walk to deliver these perfumes to high LSM places. Like I would go to a place like Danefin. I came here in a taxi, but when I'm here, you wouldn't say that I came here in a taxi. But that's the grace of grind and grit. You know, you get to work through it all, and then I managed to have enough patience, and also through the grace of God, to get our own company car. Now it's easy to commute around. We go to as far as Rustenburg, we go to as far as Limpopo, Cape Town, Durban. So yeah, it hasn't been easy, but it's been really fulfilling.
Afrique Parfum, what's
Yes.
the vision going into the future, man?
So we have a vision of, having a footprint in agriculture. We want to have our agricultural bases where we're gonna manufacture these ingredients from scratch, farm them, extract them. We want to be one of the world's largest perfume oil exporter. We want to export to the world. So similar to what France Grasse is doing, they manufacture everything in their labs, but they extract these ingredients here in Africa. So I want to set up lab extracting plants where we can dissolute everything and do the final product here in the African soil and then ship it out to the world. So with that, we create job opportunity. We open doors also to this gate-kept industry, and we also provide education in terms of all the ingredients that we'll be putting out there.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. And all the best with that. But one last thing, I see you take your look very seriously. Why is that very important to you, my guy?
Thank you, man. I try. So, I remember along the years as I've been in this journey, I've heard somewhere that you are perceived by the way you look. So people perceive you the way you perceive yourself. So I take myself very seriously, and I take my work very seriously, and people do the same.
When I met you the first time, one thing for sure, I was just like, this guy is definitely like the owner. He's definitely, it just can't be anyone out here this time,
Yeah.
Doing this sort of work. Tell me, man, in terms of your journey, what inspires you, man, to come out here and meet people, random people,
Yeah.
You have to go through all these things, dealing with rejections and all these things.
Yeah.
But what's your inspiration?
So my biggest driver, naturally I'm a very introverted person. I keep to myself. But my biggest driver and what pushes me to do it all is, number one, my faith in God. So I'm a believer of Jesus Christ. I was born again a few years ago, and I really found myself through knowing Him and walking with Him in my journey. So that's what gives me, number one, purpose, and it gives me a goal to also keep going, pushing to do what I do. It's not easy, you know, meeting different people, different characters, but I find joy in knowing that I do not stand here alone, and I also do not walk this journey alone. I walk it with Him, Emmanuel. The Bible calls Him Emmanuel, God with us. He's literally with me every step of this journey. Certain milestones that I've achieved in this journey, I could say I'd give Him 100% credit to Him, because certain things I wouldn't have done with my own understanding, with my own know-how, but I got divine direction from Him, the Lord God Almighty.
Wow, man. Finally, if we can just go through some, which perfumes should one take? Let's say for the ladies, if you're going
Yeah.
through for the date, you know, first time date, which one should you have?
For the ladies, I want to give you guys Santal Rose. So this one is a beautiful mixture of damask rose. We've paired this with Madagascan vanilla. It has a top of peach absolute and a touch of sandalwood. So this one is a beautiful all-rounder, very versatile, can wear it all throughout the year, can easily become a
good.
signature scent. It literally smells fruity, creamy, a bit of floral accords. It's beautiful, especially if you want to stand out wherever you go.
And for the gents, going out on the date with the same lady, what would a guy put on?
I have a lot of choices for the gents. Okay. So with this one, Sweet Saffron. I have to go back to this one. I'm very biased to this one. It's my favorite. Going back to that spicy accords that you smell when you're walking through the Marrakesh spice market, we've paired this with chili, a bit of sandalwood, and Egyptian oud. The strain of oud that we use, we only source in Egypt. So the strain of oud is creamy, a bit sweet, but has a kick of spice towards the base. So it's quite different. It complements this fragrance very well.
Awesome, man. And out in the office, boardroom, man, I want to secure a deal as a guy. What do I get, man?
Definitely ubukosi. You see now, when we're talking, you want to stand out, you want to dominate everyone. You want to smell as good as the CEO when you're sitting in that boardroom, or even better actually. Ubukosi. So with this one, we really wanted to capture a man of great taste, a man of wealth, a man of understanding, because understanding is very important, especially if you're a purpose-driven man. A man of dominance.
What is the English translation?
So the English translation, the direct translation is royalty.
Wow.
So it's inspired by
This is good.
a Bantu term called ubukosi. So it means royalty.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. And for the ladies, boardroom meetings, work.
Boardroom meetings, let's see. It would definitely be La Luxa. So La Luxa is also a great, very unique scent. It has a top of lychee, peony, a touch of cocoa. So the cocoa paired with the floral accords makes it very dreamy, very creamy as well. It's quite unique. With this one, you stand out because it has 10 out of 10 projection. Smell this. And then it has 10 out of 10 projection. Literally, someone can smell it off you a meter away from you. So literally, when you enter that boardroom, you're gonna literally fill that whole room with your scent.
Wow, man.
And create a memorable experience with anyone you're gonna be talking to.
Awesome, man. Oh, this is amazing, man. Thank you, man. So if people want to get a hold of you, where can they get a hold of you?
All right, so we are on various social media platforms. You can get us on TikTok, you can get us on Facebook and Instagram, and our WhatsApp. So our details, you can just search Afrique Parfum. So it's AFRIQUE Afrique Parfum, and then on all our social media, you can just search us like that, or you can say the Fragrance King. So that's the name of our house, or TFK Africa. And then our WhatsApp line is 078-021-6866. So we've simplified the ordering process. You can just order through a chat, and then our sales representatives will help you with your order.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much, brother.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Henry.
So guys, man, that was an amazing one. So as I said, guys, if you enjoy this type of content, guys, hit the like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments what you like the most about Jacob's story.